Look what the wind blew in. Straight fire, dripping like water. Spread my knowledge across this earth. Man, I got a lot of energy today. Not a lot. Um, a little surge of energy. That's why I'm using my intro. Last two videos, two audios, whatever, I didn't feel like, saying the intro. All out of energy, no inspiration. I didn't feel like it. But today, I feel a little better. For now. I hope it stays like that. I want to discuss something, man. I want to talk about something. I hear a lot of people, you know, talk about marriage and having a wife. Um, even the Bible talks about getting back to the marriage. But I never heard anybody talking about the logical side of, you know, being in a relationship and how they're gonna control their energy. Because to me, you want semen retention, right? You listening to what the Bible says about going back to the marriage. But don't you think that when it comes to releasing, that the wife that you have, even in the marriage, is still not gonna be able to put like reciprocate the energy back that you released. How the hell is a wife gonna give you that energy back? So you trying to tell me that you're not gonna be drained because you have a wife? That sounds so unlogical to me. Like somebody, anybody. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm right or I know it all. No, there's always something that I don't know, right? So I'm not gonna act like this is the only way or, you know, this is the only perspective. But to me, it doesn't sound logical. I don't think like a sexless marriage that might be or not even a sexless marriage. You could have sex, right? Having sex but not releasing. That sounds like the most logical thing to me. Because once you release, man, you feel drained as hell. How the hell does a wife gives you that energy back? So that like come on, man. Come on, somebody. If there's somebody that could explain this to me, correct me if I'm wrong, give me some info because I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't again, I don't believe in having a wife to release to. Like it almost defeats the whole purpose of semen retention. Maybe it's not for me to have a wife to release to. I'm not saying to not to have a wife. Well, to me, I don't believe in marriage um, at all when it comes to like the contractual side of marriage, right? Just being intertwined with some spirit, some entity, that is a beautiful thing when it comes to matters of the heart. But to be married and sign a contract and this and that, that is not real to me. Like I don't care about none of that. But to having somebody else next to you who's on the same level as you, like you talk about, like they say, a God-fearing a woman or whatever, a spiritual woman. Yeah, that's good. But again, I don't know if there's any additional benefit to that, right? Because I don't really know what a woman can give me that I can't give myself, right? Except for the assistance. Oh yeah, I answered my question right there. Yeah, the assistance, the service that she can give me, right? Doing things for me and having a teammate, yeah, that could work because it's always better to do things. I think not always, but you know, together you sometimes way stronger than when you're alone. So yeah, in that sense, it helps. But when it comes to releasing, I think it's just you just gonna take a big L because I've never seen anybody that's in a marriage, right, having a wife that has light in them. If they having a wife and they release, so if you're in a relationship, you have, in my opinion, you have to be strict as well, just as strict as you are when you on retention and waiting for a wife. So, man, like I don't. Again, man. If there's anybody that can explain to me why they want a wife, not just because the Bible says get back to marriage, because the Bible doesn't have any manual to it. You interpret it as as a real thing. Like maybe the Bibles talk about something else because your brain also has a masculine and a feminine side to it, right? Your conscious, your the left side of the brain is the conscious one, and the right side of the brain is the feminine one. What if the Bible talks about the two parts of the brain coming together and intertwine and create that chemistry, right? Nobody talks about that. That's a whole different perspective. Everybody talks about it from a real perspective because a lot of people believe that everything in the Bible is a real thing, a real things that real things that happen, right? Instead of taking it as a metaphor or whatever. And again, there's no manual to it. So you taking in that info literally. But what if it's not literal? Some things might happen that are literal, and some things you can just see as a metaphor, or a parable, whatever. And in this case, I don't see the logical side of of having a wife to release to. And I say to release to, right? To release with, right? Having a wife, cool. But releasing while in marriage, like what is the point? What is the point of releasing anyway? Right? If you want to have a kid, cool. But if you don't want to have a kid and you having a wife, aren't you gonna put yourself in a situation where you're just gonna basically tempt yourself to 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 release? It doesn't make any sense to me because I want to have this power. So in other words, I don't think that there's a woman, right? And I ain't got nothing against women. I love women. I love women, right? But when it comes to this energy, I don't think there's a woman that's worth my seed. If the seed is giving me all this power, don't you want to stay in that power? Don't you want to keep experience like tell me like why would you want to give your seed away? Why you want to give that power away? Why do you want to give that light away? I don't see anybody that's in a marriage that constantly having copulation like sex that has light, even if they're all with a wife. I don't see that light in them, huh? So the wife is not a excuse to release. That doesn't make any sense. Again, somebody, anybody, you know, interact with this right here because it's not logical to me. And yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So to me, in my mind, man, I believe right now, and this is how I am right now. Right now, I might be changing direction or having a different thought pattern in the future because I'm convinced based on some divine intervention, or, that there's another way. Right now, I don't see that other way. So maybe somebody can help me out. I definitely want to have, some more knowledge on it. And I'm not gonna say that this is the only way. Again, I'm not a know-it-all, right? I'm always open to learn. There's a whole lot of things we don't know, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and act like this is the only way. No. But right now, I'm thinking releasing is just useless in any way, shape, or form. Whether you with a uh, with a wife or not, right? Especially when definitely not when you're alone. With a wife, okay, I get it, right? But in a sense, I don't, because I don't believe anybody's worth giving a seed to. If you want a kid, cool. But if you don't want children, then what are you releasing your seed for? Man, listen, man. I want to be able to have that power my whole life. So yeah, let's 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 talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I might be a monk, or just just walk through this life by myself, and yeah, I might be having a partner, but I might not, because I don't see I don't see any reason to have one if I get tempted, you know, um, to release. There might be some ways that we could circumvent, you know, that particular desire, whatever. It might not. I might have to be alone and just stick it out until I, leave this earth with that energy. So in my mind, man, shit, I might be, sticking it out my whole life, just not releasing. That's the only way I look at it. Like, I don't see any other reason for me to, you know, release. And again, I'm not perfect, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm never gonna release. I'm never gonna release, because I don't know what comes my way, you know. But that is the thoughts that I have in my mind. I don't see any logical reason to release, right? And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I don't want to keep rambling and keep talking, man. But that's what it is, man. And keep this in mind. I'm gonna leave you with one thing. It may take years to reach the mountain's peak, but in a heartbeat, it could all vanish into the abyss. Again, take heed to what I'm saying. It may take years to reach the mountain's peak, but in a heartbeat, it could all vanish into the abyss. Peace.